Welcome back, guys. Beautiful winter's day. Got 2 days off, so I thought I'd get back into this coop. Been pretty busy, flat out with appointments. So I'm getting finance to get this house put on this block of land that I've been sitting on for a while now. So yeah, perfect conditions. The rain's gone. Gets down to around 2 degrees this morning, so it's starting to cool down. So I'm obviously not going to worry about doing body work now. It's just, you can do it, but it's like I might as well just wait to spring. Plus I'll give myself a break anyway. But the polyester primers I've been using, anything under 16 degrees and less, and it's sort of borderline. If things start going wrong, you start getting humidity blisters and defects and stuff. So I'm not going to worry about it, just leave it. So yeah, back window still, I'll leave that in. It's probably good thing, leave it there and let it bed in. But thanks for all the positive feedback in the comments too about the last window video. I didn't really do much research. I more or less just, I was going to do body work, and I thought, bugger it, I'll do the back window. So usually when it comes to doing tasks like that, you do a bit of research first. So I've looked, there's this guy in Newcastle, Cameron Mainwell. He's got this site on internet called Hardtop Hub, and he's got a section in there about how to do it. Plus someone mentioned previously that Rare Spares had a video on it, so I looked up their channel and saw a video on that. But it's pretty straightforward. Once I put it in, I know what I'm doing now. This next time when I put it in finally, I'll put the chrome strip on it and put it in. But it's one of those things where it's better to have two people, I reckon. But so what I'm doing now, I'm going to make a start on the wiring. So I've set this massive table up. I've got the what they call the stands under it, trusses, I don't know what they call them, but yeah, got the just ordinary house doors, laid them down. Then yeah, so I got a massive setup here, so I can really get into this wiring. So yeah, I've got the original dash cluster. Here's the cluster here. So I'm having to buy new screens for the whole lot. This is all original. Got the wiring loom. But I'm missing some things. I'm missing the front blinkers, the whole blinker assembly. A few other little things, but this fuse box is in a pretty sad way. I found little things wrong with this fuse box that really sets it apart from the Escorts. See, that's the one out of the coupe. This is the one out of the Escort. So what I think I've realised, I've used the original Escort one in the Escort, and people are saying no, they're a waste of time. But my idea of it is you just don't put too much load on these. And they've got to be crystal clean. Can't be dirty in any way at all. So this is like a backup one I've got for the Escort. But yeah, it's pretty good. But this one, I found the difference between the coupes or the old Falcon ones. If you see right down in the bottom of here, it's got like a 90-degree sort of bend on the terminal, where the Escort's, it's got more of a flowing sort of edge on it. So it has a tendency, this one appears to have a tendency to flex better and not snap. Where I noticed the Falcon one, this one here, I might have been the other side, has snapped off. It's already broken anyway in the other terminal, but it was really loose. Like I say, it's definitely got a weak point. So yeah, there, that's it there. Yeah, it snaps off just like that. So I got on the internet and tried researching a replacement fuse box for the Falcon. Just go down the same direction that I've gone for. So, but like what I've done with the Escort, but I've thought, nah, stuff that. Like I can spend $130 and get the second-hand fuse box for the Falcon, but there's no guarantee that's going to be reliable. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get on the internet. I'm going to find I think I found one. I'll show you some other time, but I found a fuse box. It's that I can use in the place of this for around $28. So when it comes to time, I'll show you what I'm doing there. But I've been going through. I've got this Gregory's manual here. I haven't got the original Ford one, but I've just looked over the wiring and it appears to be identical. It's heaps similar to the Escort. So yeah, I've got this to go off, but I'm not going to get right into the wiring side of things at the moment. What I am going to do is look at this heater box. So I looked at this heater box and I'm like, yep, this is cactus. I have to get on the internet and research and see if I can find a replacement one. So I'll go have a look now. So I've just got on the on eBay here. I thought it was Gumtree. Done that much searching lately, I'm losing track of where stuff is. So this is and it's a heater box that's been refurbished. So this dude's gone in a lot of trouble. So we'll look at the photos. So he's you see the clips. These clips here, across all them, they've been anodized, so he's gone the trouble of doing that. Looks like it may have had a quick coat of paint. Yeah, you see it's all deteriorated around on the inside there, same as mine, so yeah, they're not perfect, that's for sure. Yeah, the motor, he says the motor's been reconditioned. You can see that there, you see a bit of pitting marks around here where it's been, looks like it's had a dose of chemical like what I've been using that's eaten into it a bit, but that doesn't matter. Does the job. Made in Australia, so yeah, it's definitely an oldie. Not much is made in Australia anymore, but then you go across. Yep, there's a motor again. There's anodized clips. Yep, that's all pulled apart, so it's probably been reconditioned. It's got 12 months of 2-year warranty. There's a new resistor. So yeah, that's probably looks like it's been, might just be a bit of silver paint, or might, I don't know, might be galvanised, I don't know. So yeah, yeah, nice looking unit. Yep, looks great. There's a new resistor. I don't know where you got that from, because I could only find the 3-speed, but there's a 2-speed, there's the 2 terminals. Yep, looking good. I suppose you could just redo them. I mean, that looks original. He might have just, I don't know, done something. But yeah, so that's, you look at the price, $750. Then you got freight, it's 50 something, $49. So yeah, the price is definitely up there. But if you look in, if you can set it, you know, the motor, it's got, the motor's been reconditioned, the heater core is being reconditioned. Now, there's a lot of trouble gone into it, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it a whole lot cheaper than that. Yeah, see how it go. But yeah, I'll have to pressure test that heater core and make sure that it doesn't leak. That it heat, you know, put the fan on it and it gives off a bit of heat. There's a few things I have to do yet to test it and make sure it's right, but I've had this problem before when I've done the Escorts heater box. I tried to use original motor, but the motors in the Escort heater boxes, they're more exposed, the inside of the motors, so they're not as good. But the Escorts one works fine. It just, yeah, previously I tried mucking around with it and I didn't have much luck, but yeah, I found out what I was doing wrong. But yeah, this one's very basic, 2-speed fan. 2-speed, it's just basic, but yeah, so that's what I need to do. I've priced other second-hand units and they're about $150 and they haven't got the rust holes like mine, but yeah, obviously you're going to have the same issues. A lot of the components, the whole box itself hasn't been properly painted. They're prone to rust. So once I fix that hole up, I'm getting what I'm going to buy anyway, second-hand. So yeah, it should be all good. I'll work it out. So I've yeah, had a look at the internet, got an idea about what my options are. So then yeah, so now I'll start looking at this. But what I have done previously is I got a 12-volt battery and I've tested this motor. So upon looking at it, it looks like shit, but yeah, it's quite a different story when you hook it up the battery. So look at this heater box. It looks like shit, but so what I've done, I've got the car battery. See how this works? You've got It's a 2-speed setup, so I won't bother trying to connect this up to this just yet. I have to go through the loom, but a few little bits I need to work out what they're for, but it's only very early stages of it. So what I think happens, it gets this a terminal wire comes off the blower motor, goes to your positive terminal on your battery, and then it's got the earth goes to this resistor. So it goes to this side of the resistor, and then you've got the 2 speeds. So when I bridge this terminal, so this is your low speed, so you go to there, no funny noises. Then I'll go to the high speed. So that sounds great. I have put a bit of inox in it, in the motor, but sounds really good. So I've been pricing the motors are about 158 bucks, I think. Priced them, and I priced a replacement resistor. Really hard to find the 2-speed resistors, but there's plenty of 3-speed ones out there, but you just have to use the terminals that you want to use to have a 2-speed still. And then I looked at the heater core in there. It looks good from this point, but what I'll do, I'm gonna have to physically test that core and see, actually challenge it and to see how well it actually flows and how much heat comes out of it. But then, yeah, obviously there's this massive rust hole, and it would be good just to find another one that's in great condition, yeah. But for me, part of the fun of restoring this car is fixing up shit that, you know, it can be fixed. Because not everyone's, you know, I'm on a bit of budget squeeze at the moment. I'll get this house sorted, and I've got other things to sort out, cars, regos and shit, so I figured all this really needs, I just need to fix up this patch, check out the internals of it, see what the condition is. But so far the motor works great, the resistor still works. Don't know what this core is going to be like, so at this stage it just looks like a good clean up, and yeah, fix all this up. So I know you get on the internet, you can buy like the GT shop, they got recondition kits where you can just buy all the kits to go through them. You can pretty much, it seems a bit easier for the XYs and XWs to find a lot of the bits and pieces, probably because they're a little bit older, and they've gone out of the way to make sure that, you know, there's good reproduction parts out there. But so what we'll do now, we're going to I might get some rust converter. I might start cleaning this thing up and just get it look a bit more presentable. Then again, I'll probably just pull it apart. I'm just waiting for the GoPro to charge it now. The bloody thing's flat again. So I've removed all the clips that were retaining it. I've put them in this deoxidine. Got this stuff. How you pronounce it, but yeah. Got this from Autolac in Cardiff, in Newcastle. It's like $64 for 5 litres. You can water it down and stuff, but I'm just using this. I've just gave a test hit with a bit of metal wool, chemical gloves, and yeah, it's come up really quick. So I'll leave these clips in here for a while. I noticed you can get on the internet, and for the XY, XW, the older Falcons, you can buy the new clips, sanitized and stuff, but I couldn't find any for this, but I'm not too worried. I'll just get all the rust off and clean it up really good, and then yeah, just paint it all. But yeah, so we'll pull this cover off now. I don't think, oh, it's starting to come off now. One arm bandit. Oh. I'll have to use 2 hands. So got the cover off. Looks pretty sad from this end. This side doesn't look too bad. This looks like they've used some sort of sealant. On it. All the rubbers appear to be alright, nice and soft. Interested to see how I go with the heater core. But resistor looks good. Yeah, overall it's not too bad, just needs a good cleanup. So what I'll start with now, I'll remove this fan. I put a bit of inox in here. It's not inox, but yeah, multi-purpose lubricant. Looks like it's got sort of like a hose clamp sort of style. I'm going to take that off, take this fan off. take the motor off this plate, and then I can start getting all the rust off it and then doing the repairs on that area. So I removed this little clip and I tried getting this fan off. Got to the point where I thought, nah, I'm going to break this bloody thing if I keep going. So I'm going to have to leave it on, unfortunately. So what I'll do now, I'm going to get the metal wool, get the air tools, get a paint removing disc, remove all this sealant they got on here. So yeah, this is going to look mint by the time I finish. So give it a good clean up and then I'll look into like fixing that rust hole up. Another perfect day to be on the tools. Absolutely beautiful. I've dropped the Falcon BF wagon. It's at the gas mechanic, and he called me up, and I expect the worst because I can't even get the car running, so I've got no way of telling if the engine's any good. And he said the converter, the LPG converter, is full of water, which is weird because my brother bought that reconditioned off the internet, so that's the main reason why I wouldn't start. He got the car up in the hoist and he said that the big gas LPG fuel tanks under the boot on the back of the car, they got like a sort of guard that goes around the tanks, and he's seen heaps of crap caught in there, and he said he's not even going to bother trying to look at that. He has to certify it. It has to be in good condition, so he's found a place in Sydney that stores, so they've been saving up those LPG tanks. So he's got another LPG tank coming for it. He's going to put a kit through the converter. Then all going well, should get a blue slip, then I can start driving it, and then I can park that FG up. It needs a bit of work, that car. I need to give it some love. Just usual wear and tear stuff, but I want to put the time into this coupe and minimise the time on the Escort. There's another dilemma of that car at the moment. I installed a new Bosch Motorsports throttle body, and it turns out the plug's different. So that bloody stopped me in my tracks, so I've had to order a new plug for it. There's not much left to do that car now, it's sweet. So what I did do yesterday, I spent all day cleaning up. I've got this all back to bare metal now. It's got the typical chemical sort of discoloration about it. Try to get this off. So I managed to get that fan off, a bit of work, but I managed to get it off without breaking anything. So it's good. And then yeah, looking over this and gave it a good clean. It's come up really good. I'm not going to take this core out. I'm going to leave it in there. There's no need for it to come out. It's in there nice and tight and snug. So yeah, clean this face up. She's sweet. So what I need to do now is to start fixing up this area here. So yeah, so the chemical's done a really good job of getting rid of most of the rust, and you can see using this stuff that the chemical actually gets rid of the rust. So the acid, it eats the rust, turns it into like an irony sort of residue, and then you just wash it off. So you can see like this, like what's on that motor on the back of that refurbished one I was showing you. You see with the acid, it's got in there and taken out the rust. But yeah, really good stuff. That rust converter is great. So yeah, gonna work out what I'm gonna do here now. I've got some cold rolled mild steel that I used on the coupe, so I'll use that, and that should work good. But yeah, my father had an XB Falcon wagon back in the day as a family car. So me and my two brothers, you know, used to sit in the back, and yeah, whole family, 5 of us, we go holidays in this great car. But Dad was more or less told me a lot of the things that he had wrong with that car, and one of them being the resistor in this. It shit itself, so it's a big job to get to that to replace it. He said the fans in these things for the heater, they're very lazy. takes a while for him to defrost the windows and stuff. And his was an air conditioned version, where mine isn't. His is a 75 model. So it's more the later XB, but yeah, he said it'd take a while for the windows to miss, so I went next door. I've got this FG Falcon blower motor. So the reason I've got this is my younger brother went up to his place and I was helping him put up a garage. Yeah, I put this garage up, and then his missus come out and said, oh, the Falcon won't start. So he's got a Falcon FG G6E, like mine, non-turbo, but a lot better condition than mine. But she couldn't start it, so we went and had a look at it, and yeah, the rats had actually, they've eaten a hole through the cabin filter, made a hole through the cabin filter, got into the car, made a nest inside the blower motor, so they burnt the blower motor out, made a nest on the console, under the parcel shelf, the back, just made an absolute mess of this car. The car was, you couldn't start it. You couldn't have passengers in the back because they ate holes in the seatbelts. I'd never seen nothing like it. So I went to Mr. Ford Wrecker in Sydney and I bought him a new blower motor, new front grille for where Crow went through the grill, new seatbelts. So yeah, I've got all these parts ready for him. So I got this FG blower motor. So what I was going to do, I was thinking, I'll get this, move that, this blower motor fits snug in there beautifully, so I can put that in there, and then I'll just yeah, rig this up, put nutserts in this, mount that in here, it'd be great. But then I thought, for starters, I have to chase up another one of them, and then another factor it's going to be, that's like 280 watts, so it's about, I think it's about 23 amp, so the current fuse box that car has wouldn't take it too well. But the newer fuse box I'm looking at would. But then even if I did that, I'd like to use where this drives the earth on the motor. The positive side of the motor goes to the fuse box. So the new fuse box would be able to support 24 amps, I reckon. But I'd want to rig up a relay for this, the earth, because I reckon this being an old switch, it probably won't take the load very well. But I'm not going to worry about doing that. I looked into it. It would be really good to have that extra power, that fan, defrost the windows quicker. But then I thought, you know, it's just extra work. So I was thinking, yeah, that'd be an option to do that. But then I could also look into putting a evaporator for the air conditioning, slot that in here somewhere. That way I could set the car up to have air conditioning, because I've got all the gear here to regas. I've got the gas, I've got the all the stuff to regas cars, do all that stuff, so I could set up air conditioning on this car, wouldn't be too much of a problem. But I think the room's limited. The room's limited to put a evaporator in there. So I was thinking I'll just, when the time's right, when I can be bothered, I'll just buy an aftermarket kit that mounts underneath here, possibly. Something separate altogether, because I really don't want to go playing around with this stuff too much at this point. Just want to leave it. But I know it gets in summer, it gets pretty bad in the Escort, the heat, but just got to put up with it. That's the way it is. Suck it up. Another thing I noticed too, a lot of the components in this box are mild steel, unpainted. So you got this flapper door here, so that's all mild steel. I was going to try to get this rubber off, but it looks like it's got some sort of sockets pregnant into the metal. So that was mild steel, unpainted, same as this. The whole lot of this was unpainted, so it's no surprise that it rusted. You see how much the chemicals had to eat into it to get rid of the rust. But I'll do, when I've finished, I'm going to put this back together. I'll give it all a coat of paint, so it's all nice and pretty. So I'll do now, I'll set up, get this welder ready, and we'll start looking at fixing that up. So I've marked out the areas that need to be cut out, and it's pretty bad really, but I've got this cardboard here. I'll mark out on that. So I'll cut this out first. I don't usually do a whole big area at one time. You do little areas, but this is pretty straightforward. It's pretty flat. I'm going to lose a lot of these recessed areas for strength. Can't do much about that. So you cut this out, and then I'll mark it out on cardboard, and then I'll be able to cut it cold mold steel, and then weld it back in. I'll have to do that. Probably have to do that bit separately. I don't know. I might be able to bend it, work something out. But yeah. So I've just noticed this little section here. Maybe that was for the evaporator for air conditioner. Maybe. Don't know. Probably was, but it would have been bloody small. That's for sure. The evaporator. So just cardboard set up. Just a matter of marking a line around here and cutting it perfectly. It's going to have to be really good. So weird angles and areas to slot into. So yeah, I'll leave that little bit separate because it's got a bit of a kinks off a bit. So I'll put a separate bit in there. It's pretty easy to weld that mold steel. I found the original Ford stuffs, you got to have it really clean. It doesn't go too good. How quick this deoxidine works. I just sprayed it on, bit of surface rust. Got it coming up. It's only with a toothbrush. If I use metal wool, it'll be loads. So yeah, look at that, unreal. Just marked out where it's got to be. So much I can do with a camera. Put it down. So new section's ready to go in. So yeah, I'm all set up. For anyone who's new to my channel, I use the Unimig Viper. You get these from like Sydney Tools. A lot of different places in Australia sell them, but they're a good welder, reasonably priced. And when things go wrong, there's heaps of spare parts you can get for them. So I've already had to replace the inner lining for the MIG, for where MIG wire went through. So I had to replace that, and it's good because there's heaps of spare parts for it. There's a guide here, a chart on different settings for type of steels you're welding and that. So I'm using 0.5 wire, which is ideal for doing like really thin sort of materials. So I've got that. I've got an E-size bottle. So the bottles you can just buy outright from places like Sydney Tools, and then you just, when they run out, you swap them over, pay them a bit of money, and all good. Or in the past, you had to actually hire a bottle. So I've got that bottle there for argon O2 mix. Then I've got straight argon for when I do aluminium. So I just put aluminium wire on it. It's not really ideal for doing aluminium, like proper aluminium welding. But when you're doing a bit of, you know, you need to get a bit of basic work done, it's good. But so I've got this welder good to go. Plenty of gas, plenty of wire. So yeah, I've got, from memory, the settings I got are pretty good for this. But what I'll do now, now this is set up, I take this plastic out from underneath it. I might do it for butt welds now, actually, get it in place. Got to make a section for that, but I'll do that later. But yeah, good to go. Common problem I had in the past, when you're doing a large area, you have to be careful to make sure the edges butt up evenly. So I just get a screwdriver, lever it up to where I like it, do a tack, move around, get it all right. That way that when you weld it up, you haven't got highs and lows, and yeah, it looks like shit. So yeah, I've got plenty of tacks around. I've just realised I was looking at the wrong gauge. I haven't actually got much gas left, but a little bit does go a long way with this bottle. It's pretty big. So yeah, I'll have to weld this up now, make a section for that, and then yeah, put a little section in this hole here. But yeah, it's all good. I was hoping to knock this out today, but yeah, I've got a lot of paints and stuff, but I want to physically test this heater core and do a little bit of stuff around first. So the paint's not going to dry even if I knock this out. I'll fix this up today, so I'll just do what I can do. I'll weld it up. Got a few spots to go over, but all good. I use this mini flapper disc. Really good. Use that for the final go over, but then I'll use the usual bigger style flapper disc grinder, and yeah, come back really good. So yep, I'll be painting this up soon. I think I've only got matte black. I might have satin black. I was hoping for a gloss, but I'll see how it'll go. But I'm just gonna have to use what I've got here. I don't want to go anywhere. It's bloody a good hour out of my day if I go to shops, go anywhere. So keep getting into it. All painted now. It's waiting for the clear to dry. This is a painful part. I decided to paint the bottom too. So yeah, why not? Yeah, it looks pretty good, but worst part is you never see this. This is going to be hidden under the dash. So, oh well, at least I know it's looking good, it's done properly. I even gave the motor, gave it a hit. Use a bit of edge primer and then clear over it. So yeah, what I'll do now, I noticed when I pulled this motor off here, there's like this sort of foam sort of seal that went around here, and I'm trying to figure out what it might have been there for. I think it, from what I can gather, it might be to help stop probably vibrations or noise maybe. So I don't know. So what I'm gonna do, I've got some cork gasket, some real thick stuff here, really thick. So I might use that and make like a seal that goes between them. So once this goes off, which I don't know how long it'll be now because it's only about 19 degrees in the sun. The reflection of this probably about 22 or something, but I don't know how long this will take before I can do anything with it, but I'll just leave this for now, make that cork gasket, and yeah, just see how it go. Got the gasket ready to go. I just used scissors to cut it out, razor blade to cut the inside, then the outside ones I just used a punch. But I think these middle holes are for the engine to breathe, because the outer ones are for the threads to go through. So yeah, I'm still waiting. Starting to get tacky now, like it's like starting to get a film on it. Also getting dust sticking to it, but oh, it doesn't matter. All is good. I'll never see this once it's done. I put these flapper doors in climate control, they're called blend doors, but in these I don't know what they're called. So obviously that diverts air through to go through the heated core, so you get hot air, and then it goes through here and either goes up that area or it turns around, it goes down to your feet or halfway. See where it's got a little mesh there, I guess that's where they're trying to limit how much can get through at that time. So I have to pressure test this. I have to pressure test it. I don't want to go to the trouble of putting all these clips back on, and then you know, finding out. I'm waiting on this heat gun. I've got this heat gun, you know, where you aim the laser and it tells you the temperature. Ordered it online, but I don't think I'm going to see it for another week or two. So I'm thinking about going to J-Car and picking one up, because I'm at the point now I could actually, the paint's gone off now, it's good. So it's a good thing. So yeah, I could actually start testing it now. Should be good. Doing a leak test now. I made a big error when I was cutting this outer housing bit. There was a bit of misalignment, so I put a blade through it. I didn't realise, but I chopped into the core. See a big cut across there. Leaked really bad, so what I had to do is get out all my soldering tools, map gas, put a heat into it, solder it. It seems to be holding pressure. Scare the daylights out of me. I'm not trying to put too much pressure in this, but when I was doing this, bloody thing blew off, almost hit me in the head. The bolt there. There's no leak. Oh shit. Yep. Really needs made proper contraption, but it's holding a lot of pressure and it's not leaking. So I've done this all before with the Escort. I had to make one good core out of two, and I had to change the pipes around because the Escort's motors, the head's so wide, but a twin cam, it got in way of these pipes, so I had to change it all. A lot of work, but yeah. Secret with soldering is you've got to heat the metal up so the pores of the metal open up, then the solder goes into them, and when it cools down, it locks in, and you get a really good seal. So yeah, I'm happy with that. It's passed. So yeah, I put it back together now, and I've got a big tube of Sikaflex. So I'll be able to seal it up, seal the whole box up, then we'll do testing on it. I've got a heat gun now. About to seal this up now. Got the Sikaflex, but this time it's actually white. Usually it's black. Well, previously it has been, so weird. This is all Bunnings had, so I'll seal this up. I have to be generous with this. That's the way it's got to be. Put this on the whole way around, and I can seal it up permanently. So as per usual, I've run out of daylight. So what I've done, I've got out the back here where I've got access to hot water. So I've got a garden hose going from here, going to the sink, to a hot tap, and running water. Trouble I'm having, it's the water in the hot water system 70 degrees. And then by the time it gets through the garden hose and gets out here, even though I'm letting it run for a while, get up to about 45 is the best I can get it. So what I've done, I've got this heat. So I'm measuring here, so there's 11.7, the surface. Yeah, it's still blowing, still got hot water inside the core, so heater core. So I'm measuring temperature here where it's coming out, measuring the temperature it's going in, measuring the water to the temperature. So what I'll do now, I'm only running it on low. I can run on high. That'd be good for defrosting windows, but for the purpose of this and to prolong the life of that battery, I'll keep it on low. So I'll do now, I'll go turn the water on, then we'll do a test. So I've got the water running, check the temperature, so it's warming up, 36. So just to turn that hose off, that short period of time the water's cooled down. Unreal, so hard. So really need a shorter hose and really hot water. So that's at 38 degrees, measure here, 12, measure here, 22. So you can feel it, I can feel the warm air come out of it. So yeah, it's definitely doing its thing. So you can turn it off and on, turn that off, instantly cools down. Put it back on. That's warming up. 24, 14, 15, 12. Water's up 43. So imagine if that was, say, 85 degrees, it'd be double. It'd be up around 45, 50, which is plenty hot enough. See, now the bucket's full, I've turned the water off. I can't let this one go. I went and hit my father up. He said, oh, sorry about that, it's got a mixer, so you're never going to get it really hot. And I'm like, right, that makes sense. Well, so what I'm going to do now, I've got it running, no hot water in it. Temperature coming out of here is 14.9, 13 there. So you get an indication about temperatures. So what I'll do now, I'll put some hot water in it. It's just boiling, so it's starting to drop. It was at 100. So I'll fill it up with hot water, and it should be hot for probably 30 seconds or so. Start cooling down again. So it's got hot water in it now. See how it goes. Now that's going. Temperature. Oh yeah, keeps warming now. It's cooled down, but that's only 11, 12, 11. Go to here. Feels hotter than that. Yeah, I think I'm never going to get that good. Not when it needs to be flowing. So you look at the temperature there. Yeah. Oh well. It's starting to cool down now. Yep, starting to cool down. Oh well, that's it then. Not much I can do. So that's the way it is. But on the positive note, the test isn't 100%, but the motor sounds great. Put it on high speed. I can't get to it, it's under there. But yeah, she's sweet. So what I'll do now is wrap this thing up in a bed sheet, put it away. And the cork gasket worked out good. Yeah, put it away, and then yeah, when it comes to time to start putting this thing back together, I can run actual hot water through the engine through it, and then yeah, I think it's going to be alright. Yeah, it's actually the core in this doesn't appear to be as good as the Escorts. The Escorts is like a radiator, it's got heaps of channels, but this one looks like it's got just 2 areas where the water runs through and heaps of these like copper sort of layers that come off it. So I think that's just the way it is. But overall, I think it'll do its job. I could have modified this to make it better. Could have turned it into an air conditioning system, and there's a lot you can do. But I think I'm trying to keep the car sort of factory in a sense. But obviously I'm going to make it more reliable, upgrading fuel injection and fuse box, stuff like that. You know, just make it a little bit more up to date technology and stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. It's probably a bit painful watching me doing this, but it's just what you got to do. If you don't test it now, you put it in the car and you're like, oh shit, the car hasn't got very good heaters. So it's just something you got to do. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully I have another video up soon. More or less, I think I'll be doing probably start doing this wiring a bit more now, testing stuff out. I'm going to order some blinkers. I haven't got the blinkers yet because I'm waiting on a bill for the BF wagon to get the LPG crap sorted, Rego. I'll order new blinkers, and yeah, I'll start doing this wiring loom stuff. But yeah, I really like this area, this field of work. I really enjoy doing it. It's just, yeah, you get results straight up, and I know it's different. It's not so repetitive. Bodywork's very repetitive. This is sort of using head a bit more. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll have another video up soon.